All right, we are now recording. Good team. All right, so with all of that excitement, let's breathe. So let's go ahead and find a comfortable place. Nice and comfy. You guys, thank you all so much. We're going to be running just a couple minutes over due to technical difficulties on my part. So take a moment, get nice and comfy. Make sure that everything is warm. Let your eyes close for a moment, and let's just start by connecting in with your body. Checking in to find out if there are specific grumpy bits that need a little bit more TLC. Let your breath begin to ease. And just as you're coming into your breath, listen to the sound of your inhale. Listen to the sound of your exhale. Just gently beginning to connect in. What we're going to focus today on with our first breath is Kapalabhati, or breath of fire. So if you want to bring your hands to your low belly to make sure that that's the part that's working, please feel free to do this either through your nose or through your mouth. I'm going to do it through the mouth so that it's a little bit easier to cue when we begin and when we stop. So Kapalabhati focuses on the exhale. It's a way of oxygenating your body, creating more space, energy. So it's a slow inhale. And let's begin, first 30. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. And let's begin again. And hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Third set. Let's begin. And hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Let your hands come to rest once again back on top of the thighs, palms facing up. Let your body soften into your breath, allowing it to continue to be diaphragmatic, so coming from the belly, filling to the rib cage, and then filling to the heart. And then when you're comfortable, exhaling and allowing that to release from behind the heart to the rib cage, to the low belly. Slow and steady. Take a moment as you're here, focusing on that soft inhale, long exhale. how your body's feeling. Take a moment to notice if there's any more clarity through the head, any more energy running through the body. From here, we're going to go ahead and let our palms rest over our heart. This next part, we're going to move into the sound a little bit more deeply. We're going to work on feeling the vibration as we sing. We'll start by singing the sound of ah, then we'll go into the sound of o, then the sound of mm. On the fourth breath, in the quiet, with your breath, please set your intent for your practice today, something that you desire or most need, making it an I am statement. So when you're ready, slow inhale coming from the belly. And then when you're ready, very gently, slowly, release your hands, letting them come back. Couple more cycles of that deep diaphragmatic breath. And when you're ready, turn the corners of your mouth up. Allow your eyes to softly open. Good morning, you guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with a little shoulder work. Let's inhale, bring our arms up to a wide Y. Just feel that stretch. Let it move back so that if you can feel this down into your armpits a little bit, yay. And then when you exhale, gently bend into the elbows, drawing down to a W. Lengthening out into a T. And then making an L shape, and then keeping the elbows up, allow the forearms to drop down. Oh, just noticing where we are today. Okay, so we're going to do that whole thing again. This time we're going to activate through the shoulders. So inhale, bring it up to a Y. And find those inner edges of the shoulder blades. Gently begin to squeeze them together. Focus on that full diaphragmatic breath, even as our arms are up. When you're ready with the next exhale, really focus on bending through the elbows and squeezing those shoulder blades down into a W. And breathe. And then lengthen on the inhale out to a T. Squeeze those inner edges of the shoulder blades together again, noticing that with each movement you have a different part of the back that's accessing, and then finally letting the forearms fall. And now from this position, squeeze again into those inner edges of the shoulder blades, noticing that you might be getting a little bit more of the upper shoulder, and then let it relax. Woo! Roll those shoulders out. Take a moment and let's go ahead and do the head and the neck. So gently allow that left shoulder to, or left, try again. Left ear, roll towards the left shoulder. I apologize for my backwardsness. And then leading with the chin, gently roll the chin now down towards the collarbone. And continue the movement, allowing that to come over and rotate so that the right ear is now rolling towards the right shoulder. And just breathe, noticing where you are this morning. And then one more time, leading with that chin, gently drawing it down. And then allowing it to roll left ear towards left shoulder. Good. And then gently bring the head up. Now, for this next part, I want you to pay very close attention to how this feels through the back of the neck. If you feel like you need to, please feel free to interlace your fingers. I'm going to roll myself over to the side so that you can see. And I'm placing my hands right at the base of my skull. What I want you to do next is let the shoulders relax, and I want you to feel the chin move up, but rather than feeling compression through the back of the spine, what I want you to do is open and lengthen to the front of the neck. Breathe. If it feels like it would be a little bit more supportive, feel those inner edges of the shoulder blades gently, slowly start to draw together. Just a little bit, just activating and waking things up. And then gently, slowly release. Bring the head back so that the chin is again perpendicular to the floor. And this time, let's go right ear towards the right shoulder. And leading with the chin, gently draw down. Rolling over left ear to left shoulder. Rolling back up, and then one more time in case you need it, interlace your fingers behind, and let's lead with the chin, bringing it up, gaze towards the ceiling, feel the opening through the front of the neck. And then gently, slowly release, roll the shoulders a little bit. So I want you to grab your blocks. Okay, we're going to do our shoulder movements, only we're going to hold on to the blocks. So as much as possible, I want you to let the blocks rest rather than gripping through the hands. With the first part, with the Y, you should be able to, and it's exciting because people are going to use their new blocks today for the first time. Go team, yes! So you're going to hold just very lightly with the pinky and the thumb. So when you're ready, inhale, lengthen the arms out into the Y. Oh, now we've got just this little bit of extra weight. See how it feels. Notice as you squeeze those shoulder blades, the inner edges, towards each other right here. Oh, does it feel like your body's working just a little bit more? You're going to ask a little bit more of your shoulders because they're also holding the blocks up. And now when you're ready, as you exhale, gently bend into the elbows. And I want you to squeeze those lower edges of the shoulders together as you make the W. So pretty much, those of you that like design, our blocks are our serif tops, right? So it's like they're the little feet that you get in your letters. And from here, gently, slowly lengthen out. Oh, this is a good one. Squeeze those shoulders together. Good. Release that. Now, here we go. This is going to be the fun part. This time, this is the place where you're going to need your thumb and your pinky. You're going to go ahead, bring them down, see if you can still hold them up. Oh. And now squeeze your shoulders back towards each other. Oh, yeah. And then let it relax, come back up. Oh, one more time, back into T. Squeeze those inner edges together. Woo. Good. And let it relax. Did that wake everybody's shoulders up? Yes? Okay, good. Roll them shoulders. All right, you guys. So from here, now we're going to move into a little bit of movement. So if you have cranky knees or cranky ankles, please make sure that you have blankets ready. So you've got a couple options here. I want you to do this for what feels best. If coming down is a little bit too much, you can do this from the seat of your chair, okay? Everything that we're gonna do. If you'd like to do a little bit more, you're gonna take your handy dandy blocks, find the height that feels best. So please remember, you have 3 different heights. This is low, you can turn it on its side, this is medium, you can turn it upright, this is high, okay? So please choose what feels best. So we're starting in a variation of tabletop, but notice that my hands are on my blocks comfortably. So I'm, rather than level, I'm a little bit elevated. Okay, are we good? Everybody grounded? Looks awesome. Okay, so from here, it's a slow, deep inhale, and then when you're ready, as you exhale, keeping your arms long, all I want you to do is once again find those inner edges of the shoulder blades, and I want you to squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then let that relax, and then I want you to push back. So the way that that works is that you're going to feel the upper arms move forward, and then I want you to feel the very upper arm right below the shoulder gently kind of draw towards each other. So what we're doing is, in effect, we're pulling a little bit through our pectoralis major. And then one more time, I want you to find those little muscles squeezing into the shoulder blades while the arms stay long. And then I want you to release that. And again, feel the fronts of those upper arms gently draw towards each other. Good. Now from here, you're going to go ahead and back off the blocks. Let your hands come to your hips as you come up onto your knees. There we go, good. Okay, starting with that left foot, you're going to shift your body weight over to the right, step forward with the left. Beautiful, you guys, awesome, okay? Now you're going to take your right hand. I want you to inhale, bring it up, lovely. And as you exhale, I want you to just gently, coming from the right, you're going to allow this left hip to recede back as the right hip comes forward. Gently bring the right hand to the top of the left knee. Breathe, shoulders are relaxed. So this is not a very big movement. We don't want anything too large just yet. And then inhale, bring it all the way back and down. Let your hands come back to your hips. Step that left foot back. Good. Come back to your hips to heels if you need to, and then come back to your block. Beautiful, you guys. Okay, so from here now, we're going to do a little bit more. So again, as you exhale, I want you to find your core. You're going to keep your elbows close to the sides of the rib cage. Don't let them come out like this. We're going to do a slightly different type of movement. So when you're ready, exhale, elbows come down by the side, and you're only going to lower yourself maybe about 6 inches. And I want you right here to just keep squeezing those elbows in towards your rib cage. As you do that, you're going to notice that things are going to begin to start softening and releasing through your upper shoulder, up through the upper trapezius muscle. When you're ready, exhale gently straight into the arms. Again, we're going to do just a little bit of a cat. So I want you to squeeze those upper arms together, drawing the shoulder blades around the rib cage into the front. So we're gently protracting the shoulders. Tuck the chin up and into the chest and really protract the shoulders, which will generate some opening in between the shoulder muscles on the back. Relax that again, coming back to neutral, and then one more time. When you're ready, engage through the core, exhale, just come down a little bit. All we're doing is maybe about 6 inches, not very much. Squeeze those elbows. And then now I want you to see if you can find those shoulder blades and gently focus on drawing them down towards your waist. Release that. One more time. I want you to feel your shoulder blades slide around the rib cage, drawing and pulling the upper arms towards each other in the front. Breathe. Chin comes up and into the chest, gently moving into a variation of cat. Release that. Let go of your hands on the blocks, come back. Upper torso, here we go. This time, I want your right leg to come forward. There we go. Everybody bring the right leg forward. Good. From here, left hand, bring it down and then up. This time, what's going to happen? You're going to go ahead and draw this left hip forward, allow the right hip to shift back so that you can make an easy twist. Arms are relaxed. Left hand is on top of the thigh. Breathe. Deep, full breath. Slow and steady. And then let that release. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. Let the arm come down. Step that right foot back. Good. Let's go ahead and remove the blocks for a moment. Place them so that they're easy to get to, but we won't need them immediately. From here, what I'd like us to do now is we're going to go ahead and move into a little bit of shoulder retraction. So you're very gently, you've got your knees bent, soles of the feet are on the floor. They're about hip distance apart. Okay? I want you to go ahead and just bring your hands behind. If that's too far, grab your blocks and you're going to place your hand on top of the block. So you always want to make sure that whatever we're doing is comfortable for you, that it's something that you want to lean into, that it's something that you want to have feel good. So from here, just very simply, first part, find those inner edges of the shoulder blades and gently squeeze. Gaze is going to shift a little bit upward, that's fine. Breathe here. And then let that relax. This time, we're going to add to it. So if your body says yes, if your body would like to take the next step, we're going to work our way into a reverse tabletop. So when you're ready, again, squeeze those inner edges of the shoulders together. Squeeze now down to the glutes. Press down through the feet, lift up. Breathe. Find your opening. Beautiful, you guys. Oh, you all look fabulous. One more breath. Exhale very gently, slowly. Bring it down. Now I want you to walk your hands closer to you so that you can bring your torso all the way down. Gently draw both knees high into your chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. Okay, so since we had someone who had a grumpy low back, we're going to do this in small increments. So the first time, we're going to go ahead and just do knees together. So I want you to bring your arms out into T formation. You're going to activate and squeeze through your core and you're going to make a very small movement with your legs. This is not big. So we're going to begin by gently rolling just a little bit to the right. So when you're ready, slow inhale. As you exhale, squeeze through your core and gently roll the legs. Knees are bent only about 45 degrees over to the right. So they're floating. They're not down on the floor. I want you to take that left side and I want you to squeeze into the trunk on that left side. You can squeeze all the way down to that left glute. And then inhale, bring yourself back up. Pause. And now when you're ready, gently roll just a little bit, only moving to about 45 degrees on the left. Breathe here. Squeeze into this trunk on the right side. You can squeeze all the way down into that right glute. We're just waking things up a little bit this morning. And then gently release. Bring that back up. From here, let's go ahead and lengthen into the legs, flexing into the feet. Before we do anything, what I want you to feel is just the sensation of gravity working. So I want you to just gently press the sacrum and the back of the pelvis just a little bit into the mat. Flexing through the feet, I want you to feel the energy of the soles of the feet moving towards the ceiling. So the muscles are engaged through the legs. If this is too much through the legs, please feel free to put a bend in the knees. You're taking care of yourself. And then gently let that relax. And I want you to draw circles with the toes moving into the ankles. So just finding that rotation. Okay, from here, we're going to start by bending into that right leg, bringing it across. I want you to take that right hand, bring it through the hole, left hand comes around. Depending on what your body is telling you this morning, you're either going to interlace your fingers behind the thigh and let the knee bend over, or if you feel like you have a little bit more mobility this morning, interlace your fingers just below the kneecap. So just breathe. And notice how this all feels. Long, slow breath. One more cycle of breath. And then I want you to gently allow the hands to unclasp. Let that left leg come back up. Let the right leg come to meet. One more time, take a moment, feel the pressure as you feel the back of the pelvis move into the floor, and then feel that length coming through the legs as you flex into your feet. When you're ready, gently bend into that left foot, bring it, or left knee, bring that across. Again, left hand is going to go through the hole, right hand is going to go to the outside. You have options. You can either interlace behind the thigh, dropping the knee, or you can drop the knee and interlace just below the kneecap. Please do what feels best for you. Notice if you have a difference on this left side versus the right side. Please honor that difference. Make sure that you are always, at all times, stretching to a place that feels welcoming to your body, something that your body would like to move into and not move away from. So practice leaning in, a place that feels good. Breathe here deeply. And then very gently, very slowly unclasp the hands. Release the leg. One more time, legs come back up. Then gently bend into the knees. Give yourself a gentle hug. Roll over. And now we're going to do that sequence again, but we're going to do it with one of our blocks. Okay, so have your block handy. Okay, so again, we're coming back to our reverse tabletop, but this way, this time, I want you to place the block in between the knees. So we're just giving ourselves a little extra something to make this more of an isometric stretch, meaning that we're squeezing. Actually, it's going to be an isotonic stretch because we're going to actually move. Then it'll move into an isometric stretch. So when you're ready, hands are just behind, making sure that they're comfortable. Squeeze those inner shoulder blades together. When you're ready, slow inhale. Exhale, squeeze through the glutes, squeeze those shoulders. Breathe, gaze comes up. See if you can lift your hips up just a hair bit more. Breathe. Pretend like this is your most favorite posture of all of the postures. And then gently, slowly release that. Come on down. Good. You're going to walk your hands back once again, or a little bit forward, so that you can roll down. Your block is still in between your legs. Take a moment, let everything relax onto the floor. Okay, when you're ready, I want you to draw your knees up. Still holding your block if you need to rearrange. So we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did before, only this time now. We're going to do it with our block. So arms are coming out into T formation. We're going to begin by just moving about 45 degrees over to the right. So when you're ready, slow, steady, inhale. Exhale. Roll those legs over 45 degrees to the right. Notice how this changes the posture, the movement, when you have the block in between the legs. So now you might feel this a little bit more through the front of the core, in addition to that left side. Breathe here. Make sure that your core is activating, so squeeze those core muscles a little bit. If your body starts to do a little shimmy shake, that's fine. Breathe. And then when you're ready, gently, slowly bring it back. Feel your body just soften. Make sure that before you make the next movement, everything has relaxed and come back to neutral. And now from here, when you're ready, as you exhale, gently roll legs 45 degrees to the left. And breathe, squeeze the blocks, squeeze into the glutes. Notice how it feels on this side. May feel completely different, and that's okay. Deep, full breathing. Big movement. One more cycle of breath. Making sure that you're in a space that feels welcoming. Gently release. Take a moment to let everything get soft. Okay, from here, we're going to go ahead and place the block on the soles of the feet. So you can either place it long ways or you can place it across, whichever feels best. Use the block now to push the legs up. And again, really connect into the pelvis and the sacrum. So you're feeling those two parts of your body. Gently press into the mat. You're flexing into your feet and you're holding and lengthening through the legs, supporting the block. Arms are out by the side. Breathe. One more cycle of breath. And then very gently, very slowly bend into the knees. Take the block with your fingers. Move it over to the side. And then bring the legs back up. Notice the difference now without the block. And again, we're going to bend into that right knee. Bring the leg across. Hand goes through the hole. Please position the legs so that you're taking care of that left knee. And breathe. Feel everything soften. Beautiful. This time taking a little bit more of an isometric approach. What you're going to do is with your left leg where your hands are interlaced, either behind the thigh or just below the kneecap. I want you to take a moment and squeeze into that left glute, and then I want you to press that left leg into your hands. So there's no movement here. We're just getting deep into activating all of the neuromuscular junctions in this leg, asking everything to wake up. Breathing fully, softly, and then gently letting it relax. And just observing the difference in the posture. And then when you're ready, I want you to release the hands, lengthen back into that left leg. Release the right leg. You're going to bend into both legs. You're going to grab your block because you've kept it handy. Place the block on the soles of the feet. And then use that block to squeeze through the glutes as you press the legs up. And again, coming back to where you can feel connection with the sacrum as you lengthen into the legs. Breathe. Slow, steady breath. One more cycle of breath. Beautiful, you guys. Everybody looks fabulous. And then gently, slowly, with the exhale, bend back into the knees, release the block, legs come back up, block moves out of the way. This time you're going to bend into that left knee, bringing the leg across. Left hand goes through. Please wrap where it feels best for your body. Breathe deeply here. Breathe fully here. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and make this side an isometric stretch as well. So what I want you to do is really connect into your hands and begin to squeeze into that right glute. Really fire all of those leg muscles as you gently press that right leg into your hands. Let's wake everything up in our bodies this morning. Make sure that all of the motor units, all the muscles are firing. It's going to build a better neural net in our brain. Breathe, keep squeezing. If you get a little shaky shake, that's fine. And then let it relax. Let it soften. Go ahead, release your hands, release your legs. Once both legs are long, gently draw both legs in. Give yourself a gentle hug. From here, allow the knees to come out. wider than the torso. Now, we've got a couple options for Blissful Baby. You can either bring the soles of the feet together, holding at the ankles, or if your body says yes, you're going to bring the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Hands are going to slide along the inside of the lower legs so that the palms can come across the sole of the foot. Gravity is doing the work here, so you're just going to let everything sink, breathe, open. And now we're going to make this a little bit isometric. So wherever you are, I want you to squeeze through the glutes and gently press into the palms. Whether you're holding at your ankles or whether the soles of the feet and the palms are touching. Just squeeze, waking everything up. There's no movement. We're just asking our muscles to activate and wake up a little bit. Gently, with loving kindness, and then let it relax. Coming back into ease and softness. Good. And then gently release the hands. And once again, when you're ready, I want you to do just little circles with the knees. I want you to find all parts of the sacrum. And when you're ready, I want you to draw circles moving in the opposite direction. So you're going to do the circles both clockwise and counterclockwise. Good. And then very gently roll over and come up. Beautiful, you guys. How are we feeling? We waking up, doing okay? All right. So we're going to go ahead and stand now. I'm going to adjust the camera so it's a little bit easier to see full length. But here's what I would like everybody to do. I want everybody to grab a blanket. All right. So we have our blanket. Those of you that have grumpy ankles, I want you to be careful. Okay? And if you need additional height, please take the additional height. I just want to make sure that we're not over dorsiflexing anybody's feet. You've got your chair in front of you. Okay. So everybody take a minute, get all of your props. Good. Okay. So this first part, we're going to just kind of step in gently. I want you to make sure that your feet are anywhere from next to each other to about hip distance apart, making sure that that all feels safe. So the first part, we're going to come back to our Y arm pose. So you're going to take a deep inhale, bring the arms up. Take a moment and find, making sure that they're wider than shoulder width. Squeeze those inner edges of the shoulder blades together. Then let it relax, lengthen back into the fingertips while you feel the shoulder blades draw down towards the waist. Urdhva raised arm pose. When you're ready, as you exhale, I want you to really come from your core. You're going to gently bend into your knees and let your hands just very gently rest on the seat of your chair. So you've got as much bend in the knees as you need to. I want you to take a moment, make sure that everything can relax. Make sure that the low back can find an opening.
And I want you to let your head and neck hang. While you're here, it's a gentle yes with your head and neck, and a gentle no with your head and neck. Okay, if your body says yes and would like to move beyond here, what I want you to begin with is you're going to squeeze through both of your glutes, and I want you to bend into your knees a little bit more. So we're taking this into a squat. We have our arms still lightly resting, our hands still lightly resting on the chair. We're firing up our quadricep muscles. We're pressing down through our feet, and we're engaging a little squeeze into the glutes. To lengthen. On the exhale, gently engage through the core, press down through the feet, and begin to straighten. This may not be a big pose. And then let everything soften. Again, coming back to allowing that low back to hang and lengthen so the head and neck can stretch and open. One more time. Gentle yes with your head and neck. We had teachers who used to describe this as your head being a ripe piece of fruit. Gentle no with your head and neck. So there's no pressure here. You're just feeling that tug of gravity and allowing your neck or your cervical spine to just open, not be compressed through gravity. Okay, so one more time. If you feel that you would like to move more deeply, and it's optional, you guys, I want you to, again, squeeze through the glutes, bend into the knees, drop through the hips. This time you can either leave your hands on the back or the seat of the chair, or you can bring them back out into a wide V. Breathe. We're just asking everything to wake up and fire today. Beautiful. Let that relax. Hands come back to the seat of the chair. Lengthen the hips back up. Oh, yummy. Just take a moment to notice if your back is starting to feel a little bit better, in that it's opening and lengthening a little bit more. Are you able to move into a forward fold a little bit more deeply? From here, you have some options. You can either leave your hands on the seat of the chair, or you can bring yourself a little bit more forward and place your forearms onto the seat of the chair, whichever is going to feel best. We're going to begin by grounding into that left foot. So I want you to squeeze into that left glute, and I want you to get very light with the right leg. If you can extend through the left leg without hyperextending through the knee, you're welcome to do that. I want you to begin by extending that right leg back. You guys, this is completely up to you and what your body says it is able to do today. If it's just a body shift, a weight shift into that left foot, just focus on that. If you can do a little bit more, that's great. Gently bend into that right leg, bringing it back down, hover again. Now I want you to abduct it, bring it out to the side. This one's a little bit more challenging. Breathe, squeeze into that left glute. Gently bring it down. Reground into that right leg. And again, you can either stay long and just enjoy the forward fold, or squeeze through the glutes, bend into the knees, come back into half chair. Ardha Utkatasana. Breathe, arms can come out, wide V. Keep breathing, and then gently, slowly let that release. Hands come again to the seat. Lengthen the hips back up. Again, we're going to shift body weight. So if it's more comfortable for you to come a little bit further forward and have more support through the seat of the chair, please use it. This time, shift the body weight over into the right leg. Squeeze into that right glute. If you can extend without hyperextending into the knee, so if you can lengthen the leg without hyperextending the knee, that's great. Gently lift that left leg. Lightly touch the toes to the mat. You can touch and release, touch and release. If you can do more, extend that left leg back. Beautiful, you guys. Look at you go. That looks awesome. Beautiful. Gently, slowly lower that left leg down. Bend into the knee. Let the toes touch. Now bring it out to the side. Abduct that foot. Breathe. Squeeze into those glutes. This is a little bit more challenging. Gently, slowly lower down. One more time. If your body says yes, you're either going to hang out here and enjoy this forward fold and just let everything soften, or squeeze through the glutes, drop through the hips, and again, half chair. Breathe. Squeeze. We love our bodies. We love our breath. If, no matter where you are, whether you are enjoying a forward fold or you are in half chair, when you're ready, I want you to squeeze, draw in through the core, press yourself all the way up into a standing posture, back to raised arm pose. Breathe. Let the palms touch. Exhale. Bring them down to the heart. Woo! That was awesome, you guys. How's everybody feeling with that? I need to see some thumbs up. That one was a little intense. Are we okay? Yeah, all right, good. Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, now, I'd really like us to do another type of forward fold, but I want to also take into consideration everybody's ankles. So, we're going to slide this back just a little bit. I want you to start with your right ankle and foot on the mat. Left leg comes forward, only a few feet. So I'm only about 2 feet away, 2.5. Hands can come behind as long as that's comfortable. Okay, again, we're gonna do this. This time what I want you to focus on is your hips. I want you to keep your hips so that the front of the hips are parallel and facing the seat of the chair, okay? So deep inhale. As you exhale, squeeze into the glutes. You can bring your hands to the low back if that's going to help you fiddle and find where your hips are. You've got the seat right here, so you can just bring your hands forward. And what you're looking for is to find that really yummy hamstring stretch in that left leg. So it doesn't matter how far down you come. It's all about where is the opening into this left hamstring, okay? Beautiful, you guys. It looks awesome. Very lovely. Here, you can play with your hips a little bit. So you want to make sure that the hip, the pelvis, is now facing towards the mat. Okay? And just breathe. And then gently, slowly, inhale yourself up. Hands come back to the hips. Step that left foot back. And now let's go ahead and step that right foot forward. So we're just repeating the same thing on the next side, okay? So again, pelvis is facing towards the chair. We're square. Slow, steady inhale. Feel those shoulder blades. Gently connect. Inner edges are starting to retract just a little bit. Exhale. Use that core to gently, slowly draw yourself down. Be very mindful as to how this feels through the hamstring. Know that this side might be a little bit different than the other. Let your body just settle in. Breathe. Deep, full breath. Check in. Make sure that the pelvis is now facing the mat. You want to make sure that you're feeling this through the middle of the hamstring, not behind the knee, not up at the sits bones. In the middle of your femur, big bone. When you're ready, engage through the core, squeeze through those glutes, gently draw yourself upright. And breathe. Good. When you're ready, step that right foot back. Beautiful, you guys. Okay, so we're going to come now down to the chair. So we're going to go ahead and allow the blanket to come over to the side, coming back to the chair. We're going to again do a variation of hands through the hole, but this time we're going to do it on the chair. Okay, here we go. So again, start with the right leg. Bring that up and over, okay? Just like before, if this is too much shear or torque on the knee, I want you to interlace your fingers just below the knee to keep it and give it some additional support, okay? No matter where you are, whether it's one hand on top of the knee, one hand on the ankle, or fingers interlaced below the knee, gently, gently begin to hinge, coming from the hip. And just breathe. And just take a moment to observe where you are. Okay, the other thing that you can do if this is too much for the knee is you can slide your leg all the way over and do a tight crisscross and come forward that way. Okay, so just pay very close attention to what your knee is telling you. Beautiful, you guys, good. Okay, gently, slowly, I want you to bring your torso back upright. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fire into the glute and see if we can kind of open into that hip a little bit more. So what you're gonna do is before we do anything, I want you to feel this movement. So what you're doing is you're bringing that right knee up and just make sure that that feels, that movement feels okay for your body. There's no torque, there's no pain, there's nothing, okay? If that's too much, I want you to do from here, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna place both hands lightly on your knee. I want you to come from your glutes. I want you to squeeze strongly into the right glute. And what you're gonna do is that movement that we just made where we brought the knee up, you're gonna make that movement into the palms of your hands. You've got one on the upper part of the knee, one on the lower part of the knee. So you're really taking care of your knee, making sure that everything stays safe. When you're ready, slow, steady inhale. As you exhale, squeeze into the glute and push or pull the knee up towards you and just breathe. Making sure that you're doing this only at about 30% of what you can actually do. We just want your body to begin to fire and let it relax. Good. Now, we're going to do that same movement that we just did again. So again, if you need to, cradle your knee. Otherwise, one hand at the knee, one hand at the ankle. Gently, slowly begin to hinge forward. And I want you to tell me in your mind if you notice a difference in how this area around the glute and the hip joint feels. Does it feel a little bit more open? Were you able to get a little bit further forward? And breathe. Okay, from here, you're going to take this left hand. I want you to, and you've got a nice big hole underneath your right side. You're going to bring palm facing up. I want you to come across. Again, if this is too much, hold your knee from the bottom and just gently move into the twist. So the way you move into the twist is that you're going to lead with that right shoulder and bring the right shoulder up, which will automatically bring that left torso down. And breathe here. 3 cycles of breath, slow, steady. And then very gently, very slowly, unwind. Torso first. Good. Okay, because we've had legs crisscrossed for a while, please be sweet. One hand at the knee, one hand around the ankle. Gently release the leg and then wiggle wobble that leg a little bit. Making sure that you're doing it in such a way that your knee is happy. Okay, now it's time for the left side. When you're ready, draw the knee in, bringing it across. Okay, first time, all we're doing is we're testing to find out where we are. So again, if you need to, cradle the knee, fingers interlaced underneath. Otherwise, one hand lightly on the top of the knee, one hand at the ankle. As you exhale, gently begin to hinge. So this is not coming from the shoulders. The shoulders are relaxed. This is just simply a flexion. What are you doing? You're flexing, you're drawing your torso closer to the legs. And breathe. Just notice how this feels on this side. And again, if this is too much, please do this from a more tightly crisscrossed one left leg over the right. Breathe. And then gently, slowly bring yourself out. Okay, so now, just as we did on the other side, I want you to play and make sure that you can make this movement. The knee starts here, and you're drawing your leg closer up to you, okay? No pain in any of the joints. We got to make sure that that's happy. Now we're going to turn this into an isometric pose. So your hands are going to come one to the top of the knee, one to the bottom of the knee. When you're ready, I want you to take a moment, slow, steady inhale. On the exhale, I want you to squeeze into that left glute and gently press the knee into your hands. Breathe here. Really squeeze into that left glute. Your right glute may want to help. Don't let it. Just let this be about the left. Breathe. Squeeze. We usually have one side that likes to help. Let it relax. One more time. If you need to, cradle the knee. Otherwise, one hand to knee, one hand to ankle. Gently, slowly hinge forward. Take a moment to notice if you have a difference in this second set. Breathe. Slow, steady breath. Now from here, you're going to take your right hand, palm facing up, this nice big hole that you have between your left arm and your left leg. Slide underneath. You're going to lift with that left shoulder, bringing that up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Again, you're only taking this to a place that feels welcoming. It may feel very different on this side than it did on the other. And if it does, Just observe, no judgment. You guys, your body creates itself around the needs that you have. So if you have one side that's more tight than the other, it's simply your body's response to your daily needs. As you change your needs, your body can change with you. Continue to breathe. Make sure that this is something that's welcoming. And then gently, slowly unwind with as much loving kindness as possible. One hand to the ankle, one hand to the knee. Bring it off. Gently wiggle wobble. Move around a little bit. There we go. Okay. Believe it or not, it is time for us to move into our final relaxation. So please, you are more than welcome to use your chair and do legs up the chair. You can also bolster, blanket, make yourself nice and comfy, cozy. And bring yourself back down onto your mat for your final relaxation. So give yourself a few moments. Get connected. Okay. You guys, we did several things today where we worked a little bit more intensely. So as you come back to your mat, as you come into your final relaxation, take a moment and notice how your body's feeling. If you're feeling any quality of tension anywhere, I invite you to take a slow, steady inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to squeeze everything from your toes to your legs, lower and upper, glutes, core, shoulders, chest, arms, hands, face, neck. Just tighten everything, squeeze, and then let it relax. Feel the softness move into your body. Feel the relaxation pulse through all parts. Take a moment of gratitude to your body and your breath for bringing you through your practice today. And then allow your body to come back to breathing you. So no effort. Sink and soften into the mat. Feel it support you. Feel your body drop into a space of deep softness, deep relaxation. Into a space of letting go. Breathe in the stillness. Breathe in the softness.
Gently, slowly begin to find your way back. Bringing yourself back through movements in your fingers and your toes, hands and feet, and then allow that awareness to move up through the body and back into the breath. Slow inhale, deep exhale through the nose. And then if it feels comfortable, you can use your breath to bring your arms up over your head to stretch one last time. Fingers to toes, bones to skin. When you're ready, bring your knees high into your chest. Give yourself that gentle hug. Squeeze that loving kindness for your body. And then when you're ready, roll yourself up into a seated position. And one last time, let's bring hands to prayer. Y'all, thank you so, so much for making time for yourselves, making time for laughter, making time for community. I honor the divine in you, that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste, and may the blessings be.